Hi, I'm Frankie with Barry Ave. I want to congratulate you on getting your new organizer, and today I'm going to walk you through both the hardware and the installation. So let's open up the box. Inside, of course, you're going to have your organizer. Now the organizer will be in the bag, and then on the back side is where you'll have two sets of hardware, which we'll go over those in just a minute. And inside you also have a paper stencil. Now let's set this out of the way. For the smaller set of hardware, which has the smaller screws and the smaller anchors, you're gonna need a 3/16 inch drill bit. And for the larger of the two hardware sets, with the larger screws and the larger anchors, it's possible to get done with just a screwdriver, but it's gonna make your life a whole lot easier if you have a drill along with a standard Phillips size attachment. The larger of the two does not require a drill bit. Now, if you're going into drywall, either of these with the anchors will work. It's just a matter of what type of hardware you prefer. If you're going into a stud, you only want to use the larger hardware and use just the larger screws with no anchors at all. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the installation with both sets of hardware. First thing, you want to make sure that you have your stencil. Go ahead and pop these little circles out. Now don't pay attention to these holes right here. These are actually from a video that we just shot showing how to install our garage hooks. And if you're interested in those, I'll link it right below. But once you have your stencil ready and you have the placement you want, one thing to keep in mind is if you have specific tools that you want to use, is keep both the distance above and below of whatever's gonna be hanging up to make sure you have enough clearance. So once you have that, you can use a level if you want to make sure that it's completely straight. For this video, we're not going to use that just for the sake of time. You're going to go like this. Once you have the position, go ahead and circle in all of the holes. Simple as that. There we are. So first I'm going to show you how to use the smaller hardware. What you're going to do is make sure you have your 3/16 inch drill bit. Go right in the center of the hole and simply drill right there. Then grab your hammer and an anchor. Start out by tapping gently. Then you can give it a little bit more pressure until it's basically flush with the wall like that. Again, start tapping slowly and softly. Then you can apply a little bit more pressure once it's already started. There you go, until you get basically flush with the wall. Now if you're using the larger set of hardware going into drywall, you don't need the drill bit. Just go ahead and grab an anchor. And as mentioned, you can use just a normal screwdriver and make it happen, but it'll make your life a whole lot easier if you have a drill with a Phillips bit. All you have to do is take the point, press it right in the center with the self-drilling anchors. You're actually gonna want to take this spike and just push the tip in, just the tip in before you go ahead and drill it, and that's gonna help stabilize it so it doesn't wobble around. It'll leave a little puncture like that. Place in here, and you wanna hold it a little bit steady so it doesn't wobble until it gets started. Once it gains some traction going in, you can pick up the speed. And then once you get it in, be careful and just get it again, basically flush right there with the wall, and don't go any further. If you do use the larger ones and you have a drill bit, it can make it a little bit easier if you pre-drill. Just make sure you're right in the center. There we go, it's pre-drilled. I've got my anchor ready. I got the Phillips head back in. And there you go, same thing. Just get it till it's flush with the wall. Now you can see that the smaller hardware set is installed here. The larger hardware set is installed here, both with the anchors for drywall. And if any of your sets of holes happen to line up with a stud, then remember that you don't want to use any of the anchors. You just want to use the screws only out of the larger set of hardware. Now I don't have a stud here, so I'm not going to show it as an example how to go in, but it's as simple as just lining up the screw and drilling it straight in. Now I'm going to finish up the installation and show you the organizer actually in use. There we go, all the anchors are installed. Now let's just screw it in. Okay, so when you're gonna put this on, easy way to tell if it's the right way, facing up or down. Fold the hooks out. Hooks should be pointing upwards. Can you see that good? There you go. Hook should be facing upwards when you go to install it. Now, if you go ahead and use a drill to install these screws, it's not recommended. It can be done, but you have to be careful. So I'm gonna go ahead a little bit safer. I'm gonna install it by hand. Just simply screw in the screws that came with the matching hardware that you used. Doing it by hand just prevents you from stripping out the anchors. Now don't over tighten them, but just make sure everything's nice and snug. Okay, so now using it seems pretty straightforward, but there's a couple tips I just want to let you know. So here's a spring mop for an example. The slots are spring loaded, so they're meant to have a good amount of tension to hold your items securely. And so if you just try to push, it seems like it might be a little bit difficult. One tip is to either use 2 hands, or you can press up slightly and push up a little bit. One more time. So watch, I'm actually gonna lift this slightly as I get it started. Once I can feel it's in there, I'm gonna use 2 hands and continue to press in and up. And you're done. Okay, now for a broom and a dustpan, just keep one hand above, one hand below, press it in, and it's as simple as that. One last tip to keep in mind, which some people miss, is if they believe it's getting crowded on either of the ends, is to make sure you alternate your tools like this, and it's gonna give you more room. And this is actually our window squeegee with the extensions. If you're interested in that, we'll link it below also. There you go. And then for the hooks, simply just fold them down, put your tools on there, and you're good to go. Thanks for watching. I hope your installation goes smoothly. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We're here to help you. But before you go, don't forget to check out the offer we have for you just below. And we'll see you next time.